Oli, Pop Rock Radio. Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Rock Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hits från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Rock Radio med Jamie Roxx.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, Pop Art. Forgot who I was for a second. Let's try that again. I'll have to fix that. I'm your host, pop art painter Jamie Roxx, and yeah, very cool. It's a great week here. It was the wife's birthday week. She turned, I don't know if I should be saying that, but it was a big one, and it wasn't the 50th, and it wasn't the 30th. So, math people at home, do your math. And yeah, she had a great day. We hung out and everything, went and did stuff, and got lunch and all this stuff. And since it's her big birthday, she's meeting up with some of her girlfriends this week. They're having a girls' weekend. They're going to the Ren Fair. They're doing all kinds of stuff. I get to stay home with the dog and watch movies about war and stuff. It's I don't know. Me and Mei Ling may make a pot of beans or something. It's just guy time here at the house. And we are not complaining. Well, Mei Ling's a girl, but she likes hanging out.
One of the guys.
Yeah, she's pretty much one of the guys. My guest today, I really dig my guest today. He's a fantastic musician, a songwriter out of the greater Pittsburgh area. And he is just cool, turned up to 10. I've been listening to his music all day today, doing my research and getting ready for the show and work, painting. Very cool. And yeah, but without further ado, I'd like to welcome Cello. Cello, how you doing, man?
We're going Pittsburgh to Miami like Marino.
I'm telling you. It's
you know
crazy.
What I mean?
Now, let me ask you, Pittsburgh, is it still crazy winter up there, or is it starting to break a little bit?
It's starting to break a bit, but it was the last month. The snow was on the ground the entire time.
Wow.
Yeah, I dropped something into the ice at the beginning of the month, and it froze over, and I couldn't get it back until all the snow melted.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we get these crazy cold snaps. I'm in South Florida. I'm just up from Miami and Fort Lauderdale on the ocean here. And so we're not used to it. It's normally 80. If it's a hot day, it's 85, you know what I mean? But the last month, like you were saying, every couple weeks, we're getting one of these cold snaps. Everybody here freaks out. I grew up in Detroit, so, I'm like, and then Boston, I'm used to cold.
Oh, Boston. Oh, my.
Yeah, but it's been a long time. But everybody here, it's going to be 65 today, and everybody's bundled up in parkas and boots and scarves and stuff. It's funny, but
yeah, definitely funny to me. I don't know if it's funny to them, but
no, I can just picture this happened to me and my wife. We live about 3 hours south of Disney World. In a couple years, we have those year-long pass things. We can go anytime we want to, but it's a 3-hour drive each way. But we went up. She wanted to go up for a couple days, and it's okay. So we went up. I'm like, where do you want to go? She's Animal Kingdom to see the animals. And I'm like, man, we've been to Animal Kingdom so many times, the animals recognize us. They're like, oh, there they are. But as you go in, there's this main pathway up the place, and they've got fake rocks and jungle themes all the way up. And there's these little caves and stuff. And I said, because it looked like it was going to rain. It smelled like it was going to rain. And I said, let's stay to the side here a little bit in case it starts raining. I got a feeling. And it did. So we went in this little cave area off to the side so we could watch the crowd. Yeah, and everybody else was just leaving the park and heading out and all this and that. And you just saw family after family that had saved all year, if not longer, for their big Disney World trip. And the husbands are fighting with the wives. None of the kids are happy. They're getting rained on. Nobody wants to spend the $50 Disney charges for their plastic trash bag poncho. And I get it. I wouldn't either. But we just sat and I'm like, oh man, vacations are ruined. And I think when these cold snaps happen, I imagine something similar happens. People, they come down here expecting sunshine and beaches, and then it's 40 degrees. That can't be that fun. But
Mm.
I don't know. I think Disney on a
Board
cool
games with the family time, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Break out the Uno deck.
Oh no, too dangerous.
There's always one kid that's got a whole handful of draw fours.
Plus fours, yeah.
Yeah, they're no fun to
And
play.
then he grows up to go to prison, probably.
Exactly. Anyhow, let me ask you now, growing up, were you the music kid? Did you know that music's what you were going to be doing, or did this kind of happen later?
I took a while to find myself as a
I
person.
gotcha.
Even as a kid, I didn't really feel like I had a strong sense of identity of the things that, you know, my sense of identity back when I was a kid was being on the autism spectrum. And that it was so tied to that because of everything I was going through and all the services I received and how life skewing that was. So
Mm.
and I grew up singing a lot just because not because I
That
was
gave you
good at it,
comfort.
not because I was good at it, because it was a vocal stim.
I gotcha.
So, and it's something I do to this day. I'm always singing or humming, and I it just grew from there. At first, when I was a kid, I was recording like little songs on a tape recorder, old timey tape recorder, like a little pretty
Hmm.
and I went from there to just experiencing music and put writing music away for a long time. And then in high school, I was doing a lot of theater, like that
Hmm.
kind of performing. It was close to what I wanted, but it wasn't exactly the thing that fit for me. And then I met some girl in high school and fell head over heels and started writing
It's always a
poetry
girl. It's always a
and started
girl.
writing poetry. The poetry evolved after a while and wasn't just about her. And then me and that girl break up. COVID happens right
Oh wow.
after.
Oh.
And I'm like dealing with all of this and I need to figure it out. And my one friend is trying to make his own music. He's trying to be like your average hometown white rapper.
I gotcha.
And he says, "Hey, do you want to make some songs with me? I remember you have a really good voice, like all this stuff." And so we make an album, and that was my first. It wasn't an album; it was an EP for sure. It's a couple songs, but we made this EP, and we shot a music video, and we were not good back then. I was not, didn't know what I was doing, and it was just we did it for the love and the fun, and the people around us did it for the love and the fun, and
Bad
yeah.
thing though. That's not a bad thing. It's
But it was great, and we had ideas back then, and we were excited every day, text each other at work, oh, like, here's what we're gonna do for this one song, and it was great. And that's kind of how I got into music, and it just evolved from there. I met more people, I grew into my own sound and figured out what I like and don't like, and incorporated things about artists that I found interesting. Sorry, you can cut me off at any time. I like to talk.
oh no, there is nothing wrong with that. That is a podcaster's dream to have a guest that's better than a guest that doesn't like to talk. That's the
True, true.
worst. But I did want to ask you about the autism and what everything. Let me preface any this subject with, because I don't want to offend or step over any boundaries or anything. Just if I do, Jamie, settle down. You know what I mean? I do not take offense to that.
I have
Um,
pretty thick skin. You're
yeah,
probably good.
what I wanted to ask is, I by no means am trying to diminish your experience or anything. I'm trying to understand it a little
Mhm.
better. My wife is extremely tall. Not extremely, but she's 6'3". It's pretty tall, and that's barefoot. So when she wears shoes, and it's even higher. But one of the things that I was not aware of, because I'm 5'6", I don't face the same issues that she does. We got our house, and we redid the house, And one of the things we did was we redid the kitchen. And she had asked, I said, oh, I think we should do an island here and blah, blah, blah. And she said, hey, when we're doing that, could we make it a little taller? Because those are real uncomfortable, the normal height for me to sit at. I'd never even thought about it. Well, it never even entered my head. Not a problem. That's what we did. But it made me start thinking. I'm like, I wonder how many other things she's navigating the world that isn't really built for her size. Is that similar with autism? The world isn't set up for the way you think and process and
100%. So autism is at its root a very social experience.
okay.
In the way that, not a very social experience in the way that people talk to you, but it's the difficulties are very much about being able to share this intense, sometimes overstimulating experience with the people around you. And because of that, I feel like for a long time, the system has just done whatever they can to like take these people and figure out ways to fit them into society instead of taking society and figuring out where these people will fit there. Finding the value in these people who have value and things to give to
Yeah,
the world,
people.
but maybe not intrinsically a value that is the same kind of value that we might attribute to. I don't know how I want to say this, but it's like anyone can make a positive change, even if those the people who are greeters at Walmart make a positive change. It makes your experience better, does it not? It's
Yeah, put the
I would
smile
say
on your
so.
face.
Yeah, exactly. And that is not something that takes any kind of, I don't know, I guess what I'm saying is autism is very complicated and it's a very blanket term for something that a lot of different kinds of people struggle with. So
And there's different
you're doing it right.
types, right?
You're you're
There's
doing it right by taking it with everything with a grain of salt, by being like, I should try to see this other person. What don't I understand about their experience? That is the that is empathy number one. I am huge into that as somebody who like deals with people all the time who seen as full people, who might
right.
not be seen as equals. And
Absolutely.
yeah, sorry,
I don't
that,
want to diminish anything. It reminds me of my first trip to Paris, and I was there a month. Everybody that I talked to were like, "Oh, everybody's super rude in Paris. It's just the worst," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that wasn't the experience I had. Everybody was super nice to me, and they're like, "Really? What'd you do?" I tried to speak their language best I could when I could. I made an effort. Um, for I found it fun trying to learn new things, interact with people in a new way. I think that's cool. But everybody seemed pleased that I at least was making an attempt, that I wasn't allowed at them. One of the things with autism that I've noticed, and maybe this is just me, and again, I'm on the outside looking into the window, or in the inside looking into the window at the outside. But one of the things is there's stereotypes with anything. And I've talked to people, and autism is much more visible now than it has been even from a few years ago. And so you're talking to somebody and you're like, yeah, I think such and such thing. My wife thinks that they might be on the spectrum or something. And you got to understand, they didn't text back right away. I wouldn't take it personally. They probably got busy with something else. Cut them some slack. But and I remember somebody saying to me, I don't think they're on the spectrum. It's not like they're super good at math or anything. I'm like, I don't know that. I never talked math with that person.
I'm terrible at
Maybe,
math.
maybe they aren't. It doesn't. But I said, I think there's different things. There's different levels of autism and focus and what have you. Don't perpetuate a stereotype. You mean? I
You
don't
have
think
to
everybody's
separate.
into trains I like trains, but that doesn't mean everybody else has to. Come on,
It's an
man.
interesting duality where you have to separate the person from the illness while also not discounting their experience influencing the way that they act and the way that they work with the world.
Right.
So I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I was like, I meet so many of these, I meet so many of these incredible artists who are on the spectrum, but they can't do much marketing for themselves. They can't do,
Right.
there's things that they can't really do for themselves because they're on the spectrum. And I wonder who they would be if you just like plucked it out. Like that's the theoretical question to me. Would I still make music without this? Would I still would you're and at the end of the day, it's a hopeless argument because you can't do that, and life only really has gone one way.
Right.
But
I don't think
it just helps for me to be like I've met people who on the spectrum who are assholes, and they probably would still be assholes if they weren't on the spectrum.
exactly.
I
That's
don't
what I
think
was
they're
going
assholes
to say.
because they're on the spectrum. I
Yeah.
think they probably would still be an asshole.
Yeah.
But like it's
It's like
complicated and it's a broad term.
it's like the Captain America serum. It just amplifies whatever's already there.
Or LSD.
Or LSD. Yeah.
Are we far
But the
enough in the show where
trees
I can
don't
say
talk
crazy
to
things?
you. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I've never experienced any of that, ladies and no, that's not true. I went to art school. Are you kidding me? Talk about weirdos. Oh my god. Probably a lot of people on the spectrum in art school. But because they're terrible. The majority of people I know that are painters or are horrible at the business side of it, the handshaking side of it. They don't like it. You know what I mean? And I understand. I hate doing art shows. I'm the first, and people are like, really? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go talk to somebody about painting all night after I've done it all day. You know what I mean? Um, but
Yeah.
that's me. And my wife's great. She's like, come on, Jamie, you got to do it. You said you would. You got to at least walk through the crowd and smile. You got to do it. It's part of the business. It's how you sell paintings. I'm like, okay, we're doing it. But yeah, it's a drag. It's the worst part of my business, in my opinion.
I get it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't care a lot about my music, brother.
Yeah,
I would not be on phone calls with
yeah.
people across the country because I'm fine without that. But I'm not fine without being a real artist, without having this thing and sharing this thing with as much people as I can.
It's interesting to me because I think the key to any type of art, whether you're painting, making music, baking biscuits, whatever, is you want to have this connection with your audience. You want, it isn't like you want to change how they think or anything, but you want them to essentially
You
look
want to
at what
spark
you're
ideas.
doing
You want to
and get
you
where
want them
you're
to feel
coming
something.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want that connection. And here you are coming from a place where I imagine you've been dealing with this since you were born. These hurdles of interrupts of connection. Maybe that's an advantage. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not, but it's interesting. It's interesting because I got to tell you, you're real good at your music, real good. And
I think I got really good with my words because I was very much, if I didn't have the right words, people didn't take me seriously. If I didn't say the exact right thing, so I got real good at, and honestly, after this, I'm gonna go take a nap. Like it's not late. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll probably be out for the night because this is exhausting. But like I said, it's what I have to do. And connection, it's interesting you said that, is a big theme in a lot of my music, especially
mm,
with the way that I experience my music and like writing music and there there's definitely themes within my music of a struggle to connect and a want to connect and feeling like you're not understood. And I think that is something that is universally very understood is the feeling of not being understood.
and it's I think everybody has a level of that. Even what's the I'm trying to think of the term. Neurotypical people even have elements of that.
I don't even think
Maybe
everyone's really. The whole thing with neurotypical is I just see everyone as screwed up, and
that's the way
I
to
just see
go.
everyone's screwed up, and my dysfunction is different than your dysfunction, is different than her dysfunction. All you gotta do is give people the space to be themselves. Like it's yeah, yeah.
In my world, there's a very famous artist, Edward Hopper, a very famous painter, and he has a great quote that I love, and it says, I think I'm going to get this. I might correct me in the comments if I mess this up, but he said, "If I knew the right words, there would be no reason to paint." And I thought, ooh, that there's a lot of truth in that. The first time I read that, and I get it. I get it. I am always jealous of my musician friends because I think their art is a little easier than mine. And it probably isn't. They probably have their same crosses to bear.
Grass is always greener.
But I'm always impressed. I don't know, growing up, if you were in a band, you certainly met more girls than if you were sketching in the lunch table. You know what I mean? Although you'd meet a few. They were usually insane, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't send me emails. No, they were all right. They were all right. Very cool. Let's play a track so people know what we're talking about here with your music. We've got the Stay Here instrumental. We've got Cravings, Faith.
Oh, I didn't mean to send you the instrumental. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's no problem. Maybe we'll end the show on it or something. Whatever you want.
I can send you it while we're doing this. I have that.
Yeah. Well, you've got one with what? In the next, after the show or something, send me that. And we'll okay. So we've got Stay Here, Cravings, Faith, and Afterlife. What should we play first to introduce people to your music?
Let's show them Afterlife. That's an older song. That's from my last album. But it's a good intro to, it's almost like the least strange song I have right now.
I can guarantee
ease them into it.
People listening to this podcast love strange, but that's okay. That's okay. Here it is, everybody. This is Afterlife. This is Cello. Check this out. We're going to play it, and we'll be right back. Roll the clip.
I'm living in the afterlife, a movie that I've played 1,000,000 times, where my life and space combine, the dreams behind my mind. Guess it's rude to call them mine, anchors leave me far behind. Wishing you'd seen the side, wishing that time didn't fly away in the night. Just give me a light. Just give me a light. Not gonna happen, baby. Not gonna fall in love. Don't need the miracles. We've all asked God for love. I guess that's too tough. Your venom cuts me like a knife, like a bullet to my side. Guess we're just a different type. Not quite, not quite. And you wouldn't care. A drift touch of your smoke like a ghost in the air. Know that life is unfair. I'm too dead in the eyes when you needed me there. Give them reason to stare, like a jolt to my fear, left a crack in the mirror. I'm living in a fight with the light. Only love though I might, I'll abandon my fright, living up to the hype and give up the fight. You know it's killing me right. Not much more than I'll write. Don't need the miracle. We've all tried for enough.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. That was Afterlife. That was Cello. Cello, I want to ask you, these are available? You said this was on your last album, right? People can buy.
Yes, so
Nice.
this one was on my last album, which was called Midas, and the Midas album came out a couple of years ago, and yeah, you can listen to that song now. My new album is coming out March 1st. That'll
Okay.
be a full-length album. It's I'm really proud of it. It's got some really cool new songs, and I'm working with a really
Nice. Nice. And I always tell people listening and watching, I keep forgetting we also do the video. Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and you want to see the video of it, go to YouTube or my website. It's all right there. But I always tell people when you discover a new artist and they have an album, like they just released an album or they have an album coming out or whatnot, try to get the whole album. I'm an old man and I grew up listening to albums and reading liner notes. And that's how we had no internet. So that's how we found out about musicians and stuff and look at the cool art and all this and that and try to get the whole thing. I always think of an album as like an art show. When I do an art show, I don't just put random paintings in the gallery. I have a theme to it. I'm telling a story. The whole show is a story, just like the album. The whole album is a thing, is a journey. So pick up the whole thing, in my opinion, if you really want to have a better experience. And also, don't listen to it on your phone. I know I sound like an old man. Get a pair of cans, a decent pair of headphones to put on your ears to hear this.
Oh yeah, if
Makes
you're a
all the
music
difference.
person, you got to have a nice pair of headphones or a nice speaker set. It just makes so
Yeah.
much of a difference. You're not hearing. As somebody who, yeah, I got hip to that a couple of years ago. It's not the same. But what
No.
was I just gonna say? This album, I actually wrote like 30 songs, and I just cut it down into 10. That's how I
It's
work.
got to
It's
be
very
hard to
broad.
do, to whittle it down, to pick 10 out of.
No, I'm super
No?
critical, so I can just be like, this one's better than this one, and this one's better than this one, and all
Gotcha.
right, these are the top best 10. The rest of these are shit. They're never gonna see the light of day.
I had this conversation with my wife about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. I was looking at my website at old paintings. I'm like, oh man, this painting's terrible. This is the worst. I should repaint these correctly. And she's, no, you can't do that. Are you insane? People bought those paintings. They loved them enough to buy them. You can't point out that you're not happy with just because you've changed and maybe your skill set has changed because you've gotten better or whatever. You can't change that. Save that energy for the new paintings.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, for
you're
sure,
right. You're
for
right.
sure.
She goes, you already painted it. Keep it where it is. And she's always right. She's always right. But yeah, I get what being critical. The thing is, folks, what you have to understand, any creative person that puts something out, their name is on it. You don't want to put something out that's not perfect, that your name is on.
Nothing's perfect. There
And
ain't nothing that's perfect.
it happens the other day. I finished a painting the other day. My wife came home from her job, and I said, hey, before you settle down, because she's much better at taking pictures than I am, I said, can you get a picture of the latest painting so I can post it tomorrow? Yeah, no problem. And it wasn't. She did all that, sent me the high-res pictures so I can start the next process. And I woke up the next morning, had a great night, went to bed, woke up the next morning, walked into the studio, looked at the painting was still on the easel. And I said, oh, that's not right. This needs to change. There were some orange spots. I said, no, we need those to be blue. And so I fixed it, and it was right. And she got up, and I said, hey, I know you're meeting up with your girlfriend today. Before you leave, could you retake the pictures? Because I explained. And she goes, some people would be upset. I'm not, because this happens every time you paint a painting. I'm used to it. And I'm like, I know, but thank you, and I'm sorry. it's got to be right. It will bug me. I just won't post it. You know what I mean?
I get that. I get that. Yeah. There's something I was working on a song the other day, and there's a little beeping sound that was like a little like synth or something, and it was like on it was on the tempo and everything. It was fine, but I was like, oh God, that sounds like a phone notification, and it was
Yeah.
driving me crazy, like listening to it.
Yeah. Can't have it. Can't have it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. You and me, Cello, we're on the same wavelength, just different stuff. We've played Afterlife. What should we play next? We got Faith, Cravings, and Stay Here.
Let's go for Cravings.
Awesome. Awesome. Here it is, everybody. This is Cravings, and this is a cool track. These are all really good. I'm a big fan of these. Check it out. Here it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Bet you grind my dilemma. Haven't seen you since the summer. We link up in the limo. She's divine, a second coming. We almost missed our dinner reservations. Overwhelmed by your body and sensation. She's like an aromatic in my ether. We touch and I feel static like a seizure. I'm shaking like a craving. And shit's going numb. Keep biting my tongue. I'm hoping you can hear me through the ether. We touch and I feel static like a seizure. I'm shaking like a craving. This shit's going numb, hoping I won't succumb. And there's nothing I can do. Stuck constantly missing you. A pain that stings and shame. Until I hear your voice again. It's like a part of you that I can't bear to lose. My eyes don't see the truth. I wasn't prepared to choose. Where can we dance the loop? This dream is built for two. All deep in romance. If I had a chance to make you smile, I'd die for a child. And then I feel vile. Don't you once in a while? Don't you once in a while? There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck constantly missing you. A pain that stings and shame. Till I hear your voice again. It's like a part of you that I can't even bear to lose. My eyes don't see the truth. I wasn't prepared to choose. Yeah, we almost missed our dinner reservations. Overwhelmed by your body and sensation. Is it me or did you get complacent? Shit, I'm riding on a vibe of creation. Don't do it. Couldn't do it. I couldn't lose it. If you need me, then I need. She's like an aromatic in my ether. We touch and I feel static like a seizure. I'm shaking like a craving. This shit going numb. I won't succumb. Hoping you can hear me through the ether. We touch and I feel static like a seizure. Crazy, I'm shaking.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Amazing stuff. Cello, have you started supporting your music out performing live or whatnot? Or are you keeping it in the studio for right now?
I have an album release party March
Nice.
12th. I do a bit of performing where I can, open mics, things like that. Gigs for Band Together, which is a big part of my life. Opening for people I know. But my own show is the 12th at a really awesome venue in Pittsburgh called Spirit Lounge.
Okay.
And I've been to shows there myself and just had such an awesome time with people who were very much of my vibe and culture, and I think that would fit. I chose the place because I felt like if people walked in because they were just like, oh, it's another show at Spirit, they would like my music.
I'm telling you, it's fantastic. If you were 2,500 miles closer to me every time I did an art show, because I like adding things like performers and give it a little snap, give a little pizzazz in there, man. It always helps. It always helps. It's really good. Really good. The reason I was asking that, one of the things, I've known so many musicians growing, that's who I hung out with growing up. They knew the most girls. They always know the most girls. You know what I mean? They're fun. They're the fun people to hang out with. I'm half joking there, ladies and gentlemen. But one of the things I noticed about all the musicians is once they start playing live, it's like they get hooked on something. They got to play live a lot because it's a lot of fun.
It's all right. It's a little stressful. I prefer to do my thing in the studio and chill out and smoke a cigarette and
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
If the shows are secondary, it's more just like me also honing that. That's something you have to do. As an artist, you have to do shows.
Yeah.
And so I have to hone that and become as comfortable as I can doing that because that's just what you do. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the full way.
When I was starting out, I was real. And people they laugh when they hear this. I was real shy. I was real nervous getting before people and having to talk before people. And they're like, "Jamie, you do a podcast." Yeah, but I'm not thinking about the thousands of people listening to the podcast or watching the podcast or whatever. I'm just hanging out with cello. It's super easy. But yeah, if I had, like you see on TV, a live studio audience or something like that, yeah, it'd be a little different. It'd be a little different. But it was so bad. I had it so bad, cello. I Part of my brand, I was always wearing sunglasses, like a cool guy. And what I had done with a pair of sunglasses is I painted the insides black so I couldn't see anything when I'd get up and I'd have to speak before all these and talk about art or whatever. Um, I had my black sunshades on and nobody knew. You know what I mean? And it got through.
I close my eyes pretty often when I sing.
Yeah.
Less
Feeling it.
about, yeah,
You're
less about
soulful.
nerves and more about getting into a flow state, but it does help with the nerves. The nerves are always there. I feel like that's something that you just get so good that you're like, why? I'm not going to feel nervous even though I am.
Well,
If that makes
closing
sense.
your eyes is way better than doing a shot. It's my only advice. I'm not telling anybody what to do or whatnot. Everybody thinks they're going to do better after they've had a few drinks. That's not true. um, I'm hilarious and so much more funny if I've had a few drinks in my mind. But the reality is, I'm not at all. It took me a while to figure that out. So yeah, they find their crutches where they find their crutches. It's just part of it. But you seem pretty even keeled, pretty level headed. So that's a good thing. Let me ask you this. Now, you've got this bigger following now. You address some of the stuff, the autism and the neurodiversity. There's a $14 word for you. I love it. Do you think that's a good platform to do that in? It's done nothing but positive reaction from that?
When you write music, when I write music, I should say, when I write music, I write it and I figure out what I'm thinking about the thing. Like, it just comes out, it flows. I don't know what I'm going to write about before I write it. It just happens. And it always happens in the session. And my experience on the autism spectrum influences so much of how I think, of how I navigate things. You have to understand, I was diagnosed when I was 5 or 6 years old. I'm 28. I've lived with that knowledge. I've been around when it was barely a thing that people knew about, and I've watched it become something that was much bigger much more in the spotlight. It's not, I'm not glorifying autism. I'm not using it as oh, like, here's my platform, like, blah, blah, blah. So much of my music is about the fact that I try to connect with people and its struggles that it is unseparatable from my autistic experience. Not only that, I've struggled with a lot of doubt. I've struggled with a lot of feeling like I couldn't do things and like I wasn't able enough to do certain things.
Dude,
And
you've made a music video.
I
How many
know,
other
but
people have done that? I've never made a music video. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty cool. I think you're bowling a pretty good game, is all I'm saying. If you ever have those doubts, just remember that there's one cat in South Florida who thinks, yeah, you're doing pretty okay.
you know, the doubts aren't something I have much anymore. But what I'm
That's
saying is, I the autism advocacy is able to be served on the plate with my music because there are common themes.
okay.
And I'm not going to overstep my boundaries in the kind of things I talk about. I'm only talking about my experience. I'm only talking about how I relate to other people. But people knowing that this is the context, I think not only helps for the understanding of the music, but it changes people's minds. Like my one friend, my producer, he looked at me one day when we were making music. You're not supposed to be able to do this.
Right.
He's all the people like, not only like that's the general like, consensus, but like everybody has probably just passed over you in that sense because you're not supposed to be able to do this. But
But you're doing it.
I
And
worked
you're
my ass
doing it
off so I
well.
could. I worked my
Yeah,
ass off so I could. I
absolutely.
100%. And yeah, I think we can talk about things and like there's a difference between being political and standing for something. There's a
Right.
difference between getting involved in the pointless squawking that doesn't accomplish anything and saying, here's what I know. I'm a resource for people to talk to or learn about. Do with that what you will.
Absolutely. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I was really into the band The Police. And then I started listening to a lot of Sting because he was into jazz and I was in a jazz phase at that time. But I got really into Sting. And then one day, I don't know, he was on MTV or something and he was talking about the rainforest in Brazil, the Amazon rainforest. I knew nothing about the Amazon rainforest. And I said, I want to know more about that. So I started looking it up and seeing all this. And I'm like, man, yeah, we don't need to be cutting all these trees down. That's a bad plan. Seems to me. I think I was 16 at the time or something, 15. And I'm like, I didn't go to Brazil. I didn't go help the Amazon directly. But I did start thinking about things. Maybe get the paper bag at the grocery store instead of the plastic. Just whatever I could do in my own little limited way. I remember I was helping a friend change his oil one day and he was going to dump it in a ditch. And I'm like, dude, don't be dumping used oil in a ditch. What's wrong with you? That seeps into the ground. And and looking back, watching Sting on MTV kind of changed my thought process a little bit. You know what I mean? As far as autism go, I had a friend of mine and she has a son that's on the spectrum. And I was babysitting him and his brother one time. Her and her husband, I don't know, I can't remember what. They went somewhere. I wound up being the babysitter. And they were typical. He was like, I don't know, 8. The other brother was like 5 or something. And he had what they called at the time. I don't mean if this is offensive to anybody. I don't mean to offend. I just don't know what the proper term is today. At the time, it was called a meltdown. He was very upset about something, and he was in a situation. He was very upset, and so I finally got through to him a little bit, and I'm like, "What's the issue? What's going on? Man, explain. I can't help if I don't know, and I want to help." And he collected these little Nintendo figurines. He was really into, and he
The
had them all.
amiibos. The amiibos.
Is that what they're called?
The little ones on the stands.
Yeah, they like stood
Yeah,
up, and they were
yeah.
little Nintendo characters from Mario and that universe. And they had them all together. And they're supposed to be all here, and Peach isn't here. I can't find Peach. And he was very upset. And his room was the Bermuda Triangle. He's a 11-year-old boy. Of course, his room was full of junk and a mess. And except the Mario figures were not. They were all together, except Peach.
Proudly displayed.
And I told him, I said, now you know how Mario feels. He can never Peach either. His meltdown stopped and he started laughing. And I said, here, let me help you. Let's look through the room. We'll find her. And we did. And
those things are expensive. He probably didn't tell you that.
No, I didn't know.
Those ones that like hook up to the console and everything, I don't know. Well, they're for kid money, it's pretty sizable.
Kid money's the worst too, because
yeah. When you're a kid, $100 is like
that's $1 million. Yeah, are you kidding me? Oh man, I remember I'm old. I'm an old man. At the time, my Weeblos, is that what they're called? Would have been Star Wars guys. You'd get these little Star Wars.
They're like 20. I just looked them up. They're like $20 each.
Jeez,
that's a lot of kid money. It's not just a little thing.
No, anyway, but I remember going to the store and with my dad, and there was like 1,000. It wasn't 1,000, but there was a whole wall, aisle full of Star Wars guys. And he's like, you can pick 2. And I'm like, 2? How do I possibly pick 2 out of the hundreds and hundreds of choices here? And I had a lot of Star Wars guys. Folks, I had so many Star Wars guys, when I played with them, I would have baseball games, the Empire versus the Rebellion. That's how they solved their differences. Yoda was the perfect size for as a catcher. And I'd play by play the whole thing. All the outfield were always all stormtroopers. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. And so I get it. Yeah, kid money is you're trying to spend that.
I remember saving up for video games when I was a kid, and $60 was like insane. And then now it's $80, and I'm like, how are these kids doing it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I remember there was one thing I wanted. There's like a Halo game that came out, and I really wanted this Halo game, but I wanted the like collector's edition with the statue and the book. Now, I still have the book. The book was incredible. It's like hand drawn. It's amazing. The statue I sold for pot money in college. But yeah,
there's some pot dealer that's so happy he still has it. It's on his shelf.
Yeah, I love Halo. I got this for such a deal.
Exactly. Let me ask you with video games, because this is something that I've never thought of until you mentioned video games. One of the things that I think is cool, because we didn't have this experience when I was a kid, are the third-person shooter games and stuff, Call of Duty, Halo, things of that nature, where you have, I don't know what the term is, where you have the headphones on and you can be part of a team and you can talk to the other players and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that hard to do if you're on the spectrum? Because you're like, I don't really want to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Or is it easy?
So gaming is its own little ecosphere. But
I gotcha.
I grew up in the golden age of gaming. Like gaming, when you talk about pop culture and movies, you think about the golden age. That's what, 70s, 80s, right?
Right.
That's when all the movies they're still remaking, the franchises they're still milking, 70s and 80s. For video games, they came of age around, I think this would be the 5th console generation, if I'm not mistaken, which is the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 2 as well, and the original Xbox. But the 360 and the PlayStation 3 were the invention of like multiplayer, and multiplayer with people that all around the world. You would meet people, you would make friends online, you would talk to people. I remember my mom was really hesitant to buy me an Xbox because she was like, oh, he's just going to sit in his room and play video games all day. And then I bought this Xbox, and the first thing I did was hop online with my friends and was talking, and because I had a couple friends in elementary school, not a lot, but maybe 1 or 2.
Right.
And hopping online and talking to them, or like random people that I would meet in game in the chat. Safety being whatever, but that really helped me just have a place to feel safe to have those kind of experiences too.
Yeah. And you found a group of people that are into the same stuff you're into. Know what I
Yeah,
mean? That is
yeah.
huge for a young person. We used to do it, we did it a lot with music. In my experience, it was nightclubs, going out, which had evolved from going roller skating on a Saturday with all my friends, you know what I mean? Suddenly, an older friend said, if you want to go meet girls and stuff and listen to cool music, let's get you into a nightclub. And I was like, wow, my world changed. And I did that for the next 20 years. But yeah, when you find your tribe, your group of people that are into the same stuff you're into, it's huge. Oh, huge. That's cool. That is cool. I was just curious about that. When you mentioned video game, multiplayer, I never thought about that. I'm like, was it any different or was it comforting? It was comforting.
At times, unfacilitated communication with random people who are.
Anonymous random people.
I am not the only autistic person playing Xbox. No, but
I gotcha.
also just there's a culture around gaming and multiplayer gaming. Some of it is good, a lot of it is really bad, but it's more the thing that I think people have to focus on is the memories you make with people and the things like that. I wouldn't care about like Call of Duty is a game where people get on to yell at each other, to just
I gotcha.
be
Well,
angry at random people. And
my wife was really into what the hell was that game called? Because she got the console, and then she had to get there was certain games she had to get that she was just dying to get.
describe it.
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Oh
Ooh,
my
okay.
gosh! And I'm like, so it's. And I'm sitting there, and she's trying to explain to me. I'm like, so it's flag capture, but on a screen. And she's quit ruining Overwatch, Jamie. Quit ruining it. And then there was one called Spyro that she had to get because they updated it or something. And yeah, she would sit there for 12 hours. And I'm like, so the dragon just flies around? And she goes,
no, the dragon flies around and does stuff. And
yeah, it's an adventure.
Yeah, you go on an adventure. It's
what was the one
from the outside? From the outside, it's hard to see, but
right?
Games are a very personal experience, in the same way that music is, in the same way that music is, in the same way that you might listen to an album and be like, "My friend likes this album. What the hell is he thinking?" You might look at it from the outside and be like, "What is this?" Or you might see a music scene and be like, "These people are on drugs. What are they thinking?" And you're just not. You haven't had that personal experience. And games are so personal. Like,
and it doesn't mean it's bad, ladies and gentlemen. If you experience this, it just means sometimes certain things just aren't made for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. I remember a couple years ago, it's interesting. We live in an age where you find out more information with the internet about certain things. And there was some guy on Facebook, and he was going off. This is, I don't know, 10 years ago, I remember. But he was going off about Justin Bieber. And this guy's my age. He's like in his 50s. And he's just, oh, this is the worst thing. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay, we get it. Nothing's been good since Guns N' Roses. We've heard it a million times. We get where you're coming from. And he's, no, but and I'm like, dude, his music wasn't made for you. You're an old man. You know what I mean? Let the people it was made for enjoy it. Mike loves canned dog food. Smells terrible to me. I would never try eating it. But spoiler alert, it wasn't made for me to enjoy. It was made for her to enjoy. Let people have their stuff is all I'm saying with that before people get all high and mighty with their genre.
No, I get you. That's how I feel about. So people talk a lot about the oversaturation of music and how everyone's making music now, like blah blah blah, like Spotify. I think that's great.
Yeah.
You can find anything now, anything, any mix of genres, pretty much anything. And if you can't, I'm working on it. So like, there's so much.
I like that.
there's so much out there. It's less about I feel like individual artists being these like icons where people like pop culture tries to make us worship certain people,
Right.
but at the end of the day, my friend who only listens to underground British rap does not care who wins a Grammy.
Nah, same way. And incidentally, for those wondering, huge fan of British rap. Love it.
Mhm.
Love the classics, the streets, Professor Green, all that kind of stuff. I'm into it, baby. And it's funny because friends of mine are like, Jamie, what are you listening to? And I'm like, good stuff. You can listen to your music. It's fun.
I played a song last night for my friend, a song from a British artist, and he was like his flows are good and it's a good song, but the accent is just like cute.
It's weird.
To me. He's like, it's so cute. And I was like, you're calling this man who would stab you to death cute.
I saw this Canadian rapper one time, and he was from Newfoundland or some crazy place. And he was doing an interview, and he's, yeah, man. And he's a rapper. He's tough. And he's, what's that, a boot? And we're like, a boot? It just ruined the whole thing for a second. I had to readjust and recalibrate. But no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Find what you like and dive into it. Deep dive it. That's my advice. Now, we did Cravings. We did, what did we do? I've got Singing to the Serpents, too. I take that back. I have the cover art for Singing to the Serpents. Number one, what a title to that album. I wish I would have thought of that because that would be a great painting. That's all I'm saying. It's got good art anyway. Right here, I'm looking at it. No, what haven't we played here? We've got Faith and Stay Here.
I thought we already did Stay Here. We did Afterlife first. Okay, let's do Stay Here.
Okay, here it is. And incidentally, guys, guess what? It's from the album Singing to Serpents. How about that? Here it is.
I sit in my room and play pretend. Time flies with a high kind of statement pen. Gotta fight with my bones, I break the pens. On the length of the space between us when I might see you when I get off. I'm swerving traffic, the car. I can make your heart stop from a spiritual shock. I'ma let this shit rock. Cause she's my ex and I get blocked. I got depression on lungs. You stay here, she said. My lover, my lover. Won't you lay down on my bed, then come under? I wonder. Let me see you act up, let me see you act up. She knew I was in love when we interacted. I'm a sinner, but it's fine, she's immaculate. Calling out my name in the past tense. Won't you stay with me, she said. Stay with me, my lover. Stay with Let me see you act up, let me see you act up. She knew I was in love when we interacted. When we interacted. When we interacted. Let me see you act up, let me see you act up. I spend my room and play pretend. Time flies with a high kind of statement plan. I'm not to you when I get off. I'm swerving traffic, fuck the cops, and I can make your heart stop from a spiritual shock. I'ma let this shit rock. Cause she's my ex and I get blocked. Stay here, she said.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. How about that? How about that? That was Stay Here by Cello. Very cool. I dig it a lot. I dig it a lot. You had mentioned to me before we came on the air, Cello, your name, Cello, is a nickname, right? From Monticello.
Marcello.
What am I thinking, Monticello? I don't know.
That's
I
where
like cello.
Thomas Jefferson lived.
Yeah, something. Yeah. I don't know. Fun fact about Thomas Jefferson, he invented the swivel chair. Don't believe me? Google it. It's very true. And he was a big supporter, liked mac and cheese a lot. Little known fact. But who doesn't? Mac and cheese is awesome. So that's the one. Stay Here is the one that's available right now. You can pick up. Buy the whole album, in my opinion. These others, March 1st, you said, or was it March 6th?
No, Stay Here is also March 1st.
Oh,
Stay Here, Sing the Serpents, March 1st.
Gotcha. Very cool. That's exciting. Let me ask you this. Now, when doing a big project like this, it's because it is a big project. People don't think he doesn't just hit play and record in his bedroom and sing this stuff, folks. There's studios involved and mastering and all kinds of. You think there's a lot of legal stuff in the art business, the music business times 100 that nobody knows about. It's a big deal. And Cello picked the expensive art. That's the one to do. It ain't cheap. All I got to do is buy a canvas and some paint, maybe a couple brushes. I'm good to go. Cello, no, he goes into studio, and the thing about studios that nobody ever tells anybody, it's like riding in a cab. The meter is running by the second. So it behooves you to get stuff done. All I'm saying. But it is cool. I've only hung out in the studio one time with some musician friends, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. But I wasn't paying for it. But you like that environment creatively. That helps you get into your zone.
Yes. And at the end of the day, the amount of work and dedication and all-around love that I get from the studio I work with far exceeds the amount of money I put into it.
Nice. That's worth doing then. That's worth doing. And it isn't always just about money, folks. Don't get me wrong. Jamie, you just painted a painting with a big money bag on it. What are you talking about? Yeah, I like money because it allows me to do other things that I also like. Hey, and I just noticed before I get DMs, and I will because it's YouTube, if you're watching the video version of this, you'll see my back curtains opening every so often. That's my dog looking out the sliding glass doors there. It's not ghosts. We don't need the ghost hunters here. It's just the dog looking out the window. Anyhow, very cool. Cello, your music's so good. I want to play another one. We haven't played Faith yet, right? You think we're ready for it? Can we handle it, Cello?
Oh, yeah.
Here it is, folks. Faith, something we all should have. It's important. Here it is.
I need strong faith. Until my personal love. I need strong faith. Yeah. I need strong faith in my abilities, true tranquility. The doubt was killing me. Relate to you maybe soon if there's a will in me. I'm moving sweet, say la vie, she keeps telling me. I can't believe it, will we achieve this? Peace to him, that's whatever for me be. Whatever God that had made you heavenly. And baby, please tell me where I put my weed. Let's get high as the birds in the trees. Then I'll fool around and act like a fiend. You know I've been scheming to let out my demons. Haters can't perceive shit, I cannot leave. I have strong faith in my abilities, true tranquility. The doubt was killing me. Relate to you maybe soon if there's a I'm moving sweet, c'est la vie, she keeps telling me. It's a spell like kitty cat, burn actors. Got a new divine one and she an actress. Left my mind up the immaculate access. Do the lace silver dress in the bathroom. Like, have you seen her? Have you seen her? In her head made love like a dreamer. I'm a star, I'll shine in the river. That's a reverse, it don't redeem her. I'm a star, I'm a shine in the rise. True abilities, you know this is the night that I lived and I need in the light. The doubt was killing me like you and maybe still the best of it. I need strong faith in my abilities, true tranquility. The doubt was killing me. Relate to you, maybe soon. Relate to you, maybe soon.
We're back. We're back. You got to have faith in something. You got to have faith in something. It's like Indiana Jones. He thought he was going to fall down that chasm. But he had faith, and there was a bridge there. Remember? That's before that guy drank the wrong cup. That was a problem.
I haven't seen that one. I've only seen the first two.
Oh, no, that's the third one. Oh, I ruined it.
I'm not a big Indiana Jones fan. I like Harrison Ford, but I'm not a big Indiana Jones fan.
I get you. I understand. It's Andy's an acquired taste to some people. I really liked the fourth and the fifth movie. People are like, "Oh, those were terrible and everything," and I'm like, "Not to me. I enjoyed them." But I like different stuff. I thought that Halo miniseries was pretty good. Everybody hated that. I love those.
I bet that was something. I bet that was something where they like just deviated so hard from the source material that a lot of fans felt alienated. But like people, like there's that Fallout show. Fallout is a pretty big video game. A lot of the people who like Fallout don't like it, but the people who just watch it as a TV show are like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
They don't have that previous thing to
no.
Like, "Oh, you ruined this thing." I like to treat every piece of art as its own thing. So I
I'm
think
the same way.
Like you can still love the thing that you love while still being open to new experiences.
Yeah, one of the things on social media that I detest, because it happens no matter what it is, what the new Star Trek, whatever it is, you'll get somebody in the comments going, "Canon says that blah blah." I don't care what Canon says. I enjoy.
It's made up, brother. It's not real. There's only one canon, and it's the history of the world. It's not real.
Exactly. And and if you're arguing, dude, if you're my age and a Star Trek is bothering you, you need a dog. Find something else to do. You got too much time.
Yeah.
I wish I had that much free time to get upset about nothing things. They're like, Iron Man would have done that. No, I don't. He's Iron Man. It's in his suit. There you go.
I only have one of those. I do have one of those. So like the Marvel movies, I think they hype up Captain America, whereas like in the books, he's like the peak of human ability, like Batman. He can't get shot and be okay.
But he's not flying to outer space.
Yeah, or like jumping off of a freeway in Winter Soldier or whatever. Like that used to be my big hill I would die on. It'd be like Captain America is overrated. They made the Hulk less powerful. The Hulk would never like even think about losing to Thor. Like those, I used to be one of those.
Yeah,
Not like hardcore, but I had my opinions. I was a kid.
oh yeah, I was really into. I got a little bit that way with the Transformers movies because I had the comics when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and one of the coolest panels in the comic, the first Transformer comic book, was the Transformers show up on Earth, and when they show up, one of the first things they see is a drive-in movie theater. There's all these cars, and they're watching the movie. And somebody in the Transformers made a comment. He's, oh, it must be some religious ceremony that they're worshiping the screen, and because they didn't know that there were people inside the cars and whatnot, and they left that out of the movie. And I was like, why would you leave that out of the movie? That's an important thing.
That's a cool part.
That they don't get the people or the humans or the anyway. Yeah, it gets as you get older.
I just think it's dumb when we gotta stop remaking things.
Yeah,
You make a copy of a copy, and it's usually not as good. Like,
no,
just have some new ideas. You see
yeah.
this in movies. You see this. You don't know much about gaming, but like gaming is riddled with remakes. Half the games that come out nowadays are just games that came out when I was a kid with like prettier graphics.
It's that way. I remember thinking that when they remade Psycho, and I'm like, dude,
I'm like, why would you remake
charm,
that?
yeah, why would you do that? The charm of Psycho, one of the things that made it a great movie was
who did that? Who had the
Alfred
balls
Hitchcock.
to do that? No, I know, but who had the balls to remake it?
Oh, I don't know who made it, but what's his face was in it. I can't think of the guy's name. One of the Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn. That's it. Yeah, and he was too much mass to him. Norman Bates is supposed to be sickly and thin, and that's what makes him creepy. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm trying to think of some that were done. Maybe the King Kong ones, Godzilla movies. I like the new Godzilla movies. I love them. Mm-hmm. I don't get it super into them because people are like, "Oh, that would never happen." No, it's Godzilla, you goon. It's not going to happen. No, but they're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. The weirdest thing about the Godzilla movies is my wife has a pet snake, a albino ball python. It's a white snake, lives in a tank under our big TV. And she will come out. This is the weirdest behavior. I think she likes the movement on the screen or something. She notices it. She'll come out and she'll sit there just staring at the screen if it's a Godzilla movie. Every so often, she'll look back at me with a look like, one day, Papa, you guys are going to push us too far. And our champions.
Maybe they use like the actual sounds of some kind of reptile.
It could be
Godzilla scream or something.
And it could.
Who knows?
I don't think she has. Her brain's the size of a pea. It can't be.
Yeah.
Super big. Maybe I don't know. But she likes Godzilla. I never thought about that, Cello. That's probably in the sound design. They use some hiss or something from an iguana or who knows. And she picks up. I bet you that's the mystery solved. So I can't wait to tell my wife this and tell her it was my idea. I'm kidding. I'll give credit. Very cool. It's new music. Cello's the one to watch. Folks, we have clickable links all down in the description. You've seen Cello's Instagram handle flying around your screen, I'm sure, if you've been watching this. So you can share, follow, all this. Share especially when you discover a cool band or a cool musician. You're going to impress all your friends. You guys all like the similar kinds of stuff because that's why you're friends. And you're going to be the party star when you're like, hey, check this guy out. Like Cello was saying earlier, he just played something for his friend. You know what I mean? That's what people do. Don't be shy with that share button is what I'm trying to say. Very cool. It's a Friday night in Pittsburgh, Cello. You going out tonight? You staying in tonight?
Oh, no. Yeah. I had to sing earlier. I had a show earlier, and then I did this, and I'm gonna play some video games and go to bed.
I gotcha. I'm gonna go watch some ex-CIA guy on YouTube. I've been watching all these ex-spies.
Mhm.
There's all these ex-spies on YouTube lately they've all written books, and we're gonna tell you what's really going on. And I'm like, let me guess, old rich white guys. Yeah, I got it. Never heard that before.
Corruption, got it.
Exactly. You're selling the same thing Scooby-Doo and the gang sold. You know what I mean? It's
always the guy you met first.
Yeah. Hello, this is the bank owner. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, Cello. You're real good at it. Seriously. Hey, also, before I forget, before we end things, I want to give a big shout out. You'll always see them, and we always have a clickable link to them too. MTS, Mike Stover and the gang over there at MTS Records and Management. They're top shelf, very cool. I've worked with Mike since 2013 when we first started doing the podcast, and he's just cool. They're cool people. So if you, in whatever it is you're doing, if you need some help on the PR side of things, good cats to have in your corner. That's my advice.
For sure.
So there you go. Folks, we'll see you next time. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Remember, the world's a weird place still. Be kind. As my wife always says, you tend to get back what you put out into the universe. That's usually how that works. So don't be a creep. Don't be a jerk. How about that? That's a good goal. And if you are a jerk, change your ways. Course correct. You'll meet more girls or boy, whatever you're into. That's all I'm saying. Cello, thank you so much for being on the show. Hey, and we'll talk later, but I definitely want to have you back after I know you got the big release party and all this and that and crazy stuff happening, but afterwards and whatnot, I can't wait because I want to hear more of it. I'm going to get the whole album. So there you go.
Sounds good.
We'll see you later, man.
This has been pop art painter Jamie Roxx's Pop Roxx Radio Talk Show. It has been executive produced by Jamie Roxx, recorded at his studio in Deerfield Beach in South Florida. All rights reserved by Pop Roxx Limited.
Hannah Oli, Pop Roxx Radio.
Estás escuchando Jamie Roxx de Pop Roxx Radio. Manténganse al tanto.
Hej, det här är Hicks från Sverige och ni lyssnar till Pop Roxx Radio med Jamie Roxx.